Hello and welcome to One Man Renegade Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, Theon Brookek B, and today is Saturday, I guess. I'm recording this a couple days ahead of time, but I should post it up Saturday in the wee hours of the morning, and we'll talk about why in a minute. We're going to open up a blaster box of 2023 Upper Deck AEW uh, cards because Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom is about to get started pretty soon. The time difference makes it weird. I don't know exactly when it starts, but sometime soon. So this video is going up um, on Saturday, technically, when Wrestle Kingdom is, but it's like happening in the middle of the night in the United States because it's in Japan. And then we're also Wrestle Dynasty coming up tomorrow, which again is like in the middle of the night, Saturday night into Sunday. So I don't know. Hopefully I time it right and it goes up before Wrestle Kingdom. Anyways, if you've missed any previous wrestling related videos, heading up there. There's a big old playlist right up there. But if you're looking for something specific, certain product, year, wrestling company, you might want to go search channel page and find it over there. And while you're over there, hit the subscribe button, or you can hit it right there. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Also, hit thumbs up, like this video, hit the share button. Share this with everyone you know. Head down in the comments, tell me who you think's going to win all the matches. If you follow the Wrestle Kingdom and the Wrestle Dynasty or all that stuff. I got to be honest, I don't follow New Japan quite like I once did. But also check out the links in the description for all my other internet stuff. Go check it all out. It's all there. Yeah, so Wrestle Kingdom is coming up and pretty soon. If you're when you're watching this video, or when this video drops, I should say, depending on when you watched it, it might have already happened. So there's not a ton of involvement, or at least not scheduled to be a ton of involvement from AEW wrestlers at Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Dynasty, however, tomorrow is technically kind of a co-branded pay-per-view. It's like New Japan's version of Forbidden Door, I guess, because it's in Japan and they're kind of running it, but AEW is involved, CML is involved, or Stardom, Ring of Honor, technically, but it's just part of AEW, so okay, I guess. But it's Stardom, I guess, is kind of owned by New Japan, so I don't know. It all sort of intermingles, but makes sense. Now, if you're just watching AEW programming, you probably wouldn't have really any clue of what's going on with this. I think they mentioned it. I don't know if they ever mentioned Wrestle Kingdom. Might have said something at World's End about because Takeshita's on there. They might have mentioned him wrestling. Or they might have just said he's wrestling in Japan without actually saying Wrestle Kingdom. I don't remember exactly, but I know they've mentioned Wrestle Dynasty. But really, all they've said was that Mercedes Moné is fighting Mina Shirakawa. And I think they mentioned Willow Nightingale's fighting in the four-way match, too. Other than that, they really haven't talked about it. And they're also doing Collision tonight, so I don't know. So obviously anyone that's on Collision won't be at Wrestle Dynasty, and obviously anyone that's wrestling at Wrestle Dynasty, or Wrestle Kingdom for that matter, won't be on Collision. But I say that all to say that while Takeshita is the only one scheduled for Wrestle Kingdom at the moment from AEW, obviously there's people in town for Wrestle Dynasty the next night, and there's the New Japan Rambo, which is Rambo, whatever. I feel like it's a Rambo, but they call it Rambo sometimes. I don't know. Rambo makes more sense now that I think about it, but Rambo's cooler. But that's on the pre-show, and so it very well could be that AEW guys get involved in that. Interesting little twist they're doing on that this year is while in the previous few years or whatever, it had been for the King of Wrestling, whatever it was called, which apparently doesn't exist anymore. But I don't know if they changed the rules, because in the previous years, it was the King of Pro Wrestling Championship every year got like reset, and then this would be the winner. Like they would take 4 people that were in the winners of this, and then they'd wrestle the next night. I feel like when they were doing 2-night Wrestle Kingdoms, it was the next night, but then they didn't do 2-night Wrestle Kingdom last year, so it was just New Year's Dash. but then the four guys just fight and then win it. But like apparently that thing doesn't exist anymore. So this year they're doing the winner gets it becomes the number one contender for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. So I feel like this year, as opposed to previous years of the Rainbow, it's going to be obviously there's bigger stakes. No offense to the King of Pro Wrestling Championship or whatever that thing was, which doesn't exist anymore. I feel like there's going to be, since there's bigger stakes, there might be bigger players in the match. So I could definitely see some AEW people getting involved with that. The only reason I'm bringing that up, there's a lot of other matches. We can talk about them, but honestly, I don't really follow New Japan all that closely anymore. I did probably like 10 years ago, the mid to late 2010s, before AEW came along and kind of took half their talent, or at least half their not Japanese talent, I should say. We got Roosh starting things out. We got Samoa Joe. I don't know where Roosh is. I feel like he had like something going on, family issues or something, but or something happened. I don't remember. But something happened. Maybe he's injured. I can't remember. But I feel like one day they're just like, oh, Roosh isn't here because of reasons. I don't remember what the reasons were. But if it was family issues, wouldn't Dragon Lee not be in? Because isn't he his brother? And he's still wrestling in WWE. So I don't know. But maybe it's not that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I just know something's going on with Roosh. He hasn't been around the last few weeks. Samoa Joe still, I think he's done recording Twisted Metal series season 2. So he should be back soon. Britt Baker, I don't know what's going on with her. She was out injured for a long time, then came back, had a couple matches. Then her and Adam Cole broke up, and now she's kind of not been on television recently. Jay Lethal, still hanging out with Jeff Jarrett, who's not retiring, despite teasing that he was going to retire. He did not retire. And he'll be in the gauntlet match that AEW is having next week on Dynamite. Hook, still feuding with the Patriarchy. Nice playing card there. And we got Rey Fenix and Penta El Zero Miedo. Penta will most likely be debuting on Raw on Monday, or at least in the next coming few Mondays anyways. Rey Fenix is still in limbo, as he is not still technically with AEW because they extended his contract, but eventually I imagine he would follow his brother over to WWE. Speaking of brothers, here's Matt and Nick Jackson. They will be challenging for the IW GP tag titles at Wrestle Dynasty against Great O'Khan and a mystery partner, because his partner got injured and the titles are actually vacant right now. We got La Facción Inconquebrables, Preston Vance, and Roosh. Again, Roosh is, I don't know, and that kind of makes Preston Vance, I don't know at this point. All right, let's keep going. We got Cash Wheeler tagged with Cope, as they're calling him now, Cope, on Dynamite, which I have thoughts on Dynamite this week. Brody King, I believe he is fighting at Wrestle Dynasty. Let me bring that up real quick. Oh yeah, he's fighting David Finlay. Now, it's interesting. I'm looking at the card for Wrestle Dynasty, and there's a bunch of guys fighting that were fighting the night before in title matches. So none of the Wrestle Dynasty matches are labeled title matches, except for, well, there's one that is. The Kenoshite Takeshita. So Kenoshite Takeshita is defending the International Championship, AEW International Championship. It's Shingo Takagi, who has the Neverweight Open Championship, and the winner of that will defend those titles against Ishii. But other than that, everyone else that's wrestling the night before, there's no titles listed because potentially they could have them or not have them. But he's supposed to be fighting David Finlay, who is currently the global heavyweight champion or something. I don't know. There's too many titles. I can't keep track. Yeah, the global heavyweight champion, but he's defending it against Yoda Tsutsuji. And Tsutsuji's fighting Jack Perry. So, like, I don't know if whoever wins that match will then defend their title the next night, or if there's just non-title matches. But either way, Brody King is fighting David Finlay at Wrestle Dynasty, which is confusing too because AEW has a pay-per-view called Dynasty, but it's not this paper. Yeah. Sammy Guevara will be at Wrestle Dynasty as well. Him and Dustin Rhodes, or the Sons of Texas as they're called, will be defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the House of Torture on the pre-show. And then we got Nick Jackson we talked about. That is numbered to 349. That is a green pyro card there. We got Powerhouse Hobbs, who unfortunately for him did not beat Takeshita. Otherwise, if he had beat Takeshita, I don't know that he would have. I don't think he would have taken his spot, but the title wouldn't have been on the line for Wrestle Kingdom or then Wrestle Dynasty, I suppose. But he didn't beat Takeshita for the International Championship. Taz returned for one night only, I guess, for Dynamite, the Christmas Dynamite at the the Hammerstein Ballroom. Of course, he got taken out by Christian, and then he kind of returned without any fanfare, which was confusing. And then they didn't mention anything, and then it was just for one night, and he wasn't at the pay-per-view, so I don't really know what's going on with that. Ty Mello, I think she's returning soon, if not already. I know she announced that she's gonna return to somewhere at some point soon, so it might have already happened. Breast Advance we talked about a moment ago. All right, moving on. All right, we got Austin Gunn, who I can't remember if he's injured or his brother's injured, but one of them's injured, so kind of just both off TV. The Jacksons we talked about. Ruby Soho, I don't know I think she had her baby. I know she was pregnant. I think she had the baby. I'm not sure. But either way, out having a child. Ethan Page currently doing his thing in NXT. Of course, that's a gold card there. I feel like there was another gold card at some point, but whatever. Let's just move on. All right. Oh yeah, Jay Lethal's gold. All right. Then we got Riho. She pops in from time again. I don't know. And we got double Riho. Double up the Riho. Jon Moxley, of course, currently the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I'm kind of surprised he's not doing anything for the Japan stuff. It's kind of where he. So it'd be kind of crazy if he shows up in the Rainbow. I don't think he will, but he's not scheduled for anything else. So maybe Rainbow. Malachi Black, still around doing House of Black stuff. Hasn't been on the last couple weeks from what I remember. Was he at the pay-per-view? I don't think so. Rick Knox, Jade Cargill, of course, currently out injured in WWE. Chris Statlander unsuccessfully challenged for the TBS championship. I was going to say the Strong championship, Mercedes Moné, but I was like, no, she's defending the other tab. She had, whatever. Unsuccessfully challenged. Max Caster. I don't know what they're doing with him right now. Him and Bowens have kind of been feuding, but not feuding, but they're still tagging, but they're kind of on the same page. Billy Gunn's been out. So I don't know. Going somewhere with that, I guess. But I don't know what. Got Hook again. I don't know if is that a gold version? Okay, I can't tell because it looks different than this. But this is kind of gold. But this is kind of gold. So I don't know if it's a different version. Might be. Jay Lethal, we already mentioned. Ethan Page, we already mentioned. Tony Schiavone, of course, doing still commentary. All right, moving on. Dante Martin, tagging with his brother. They're feuding with Leo Rush and Action Andretti. Soraya's MIA at the moment. Don't know what's going on with her. Chris Jericho, the current Ring of Honor champion. Kind of surprised he's not doing anything for the Japan stuff either, but I highly doubt he'd show up for the Rainbow, but you never know. Schiavone, you mentioned. Keith Lee, still MIA. No idea what's going on with him. He'd been out with some, that's going to be a diamond plate, health issues, I guess. I feel like that was like a year ago. So, no clue. No clue. Got the Jericho Appreciation Society. Well, they aren't a thing anymore, but there it is. Lee Moriarty, and then Keith Lee again. Lee Moriarty doing stuff in Ring of Honor, mostly, these days. Nick Jackson. We got FTR. Again, they tagged with Cope. Yeah, Cope. Yeah, all right, I guess I'll talk about that. Cope, they had the first Dynamite that was streaming also on Max. It was a fine show. Fight for the Fallen, because they were, helping out with the Asheville because of the hurricane, or I don't know, there was hurricane issues. So trying to raise money to help people out with that. But so I guess that answers the question about the hook. That's definitely a different color there. Another Ethan Page, numbered to 349, green pyro. What was I saying? Yeah, so they anyways, first Dynamite on streaming, the mother of all streaming, or whatever they called it for whatever reason. They debuted a new theme song. I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters. I don't know why. It was confusing. I was like, wait a minute. Got Sting and Danhausen. Sting still doing stuff with AEW, but obviously retired. Danhausen just returned recently at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. Right down the final pack. But yeah, so I don't know why. And apparently they're bringing back Saturday nights. Saturday nights All Right for Fighting for Collision this week, since they had used that in the past and then stopped using it, but apparently they're going to start using it again. So I don't know why they're choosing to use old song. I mean, Saturday night's All Right for Fighting I get, because Collision's on Saturday night. So that one I kind of understand. I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters for Dynamite. I don't really understand. I don't get it. But it's a choice, I guess. Interesting. I don't know. But anyways, we got Claudio. He's fighting somebody. Shoto Umino. Who, again, Shoto Umino is fighting Zack Sabre Jr. the night before for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So if he wins, does that make that match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship? Meanwhile, also Zack Sabre Jr. is fighting Ricochet at Dynasty. So if he retains, does that make the title match? I don't know. I'm guessing no, but it's kind of weird that they wouldn't have title matches for those guys at Dynasty. It's like you're having a big pay-per-view show. I guess it's the night after their other big pay-per-view show. I don't know. It's confusing. But anyways, Claudio fighting. Then we got Renee Paquette, John Moxley. Wardlow, another guy, just MIA. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. I'm not sure if he's injured or what's going on. Obviously, the Undisputed Kingdom kind of all reunited, sans Wardlow, recently. So that's interesting. I'm not sure, again, what's going on with him. Jericho Appreciation Society again. We got Sammy Guevara once again. Canvas card. MJF. He obviously lost that title, but he just said recently he wants it back. Beat Adam Cole, retained his diamond, but now he's like, hey, I want my belt back. So we'll see what's going on with that. Obviously, at least seems like they're going with Cope versus Mox coming up soon. But also they got that seems what they're leaning into based off the matches they've, Cope returned and they had the match this week. But there's also going to be the gauntlet match next week. And the winner of that fights the champion at some point. I forget. I feel like I said, but I don't remember when it was. I don't know. Athena, she'll be fighting at Wrestle Dynasty. She's part of the 4-way match for the International Women's Cup, I think they're calling it. Whatever that is, I don't quite know. But the winner will receive a women's championship match from the participating promotion of their choosing. Now, I say that because it's AEW, CMML, Stardom, Ring of Honor, and obviously Athena's in Ring of Honor, but she is the champion. So it's like she's not going to challenge herself, so I guess she can challenge one of the other three um, if she wins, but we'll see if she wins. And Aubrey Edwards round things out. So there we go. I mean, like I said, I don't really follow New Japan very much these days, or Ring of Honor, to be quite honest with you, because I don't have Honor Club, which is funny because I used to really follow them back 10 years ago, up until 10 years ago and up until Ring of Honor, or sorry, until AEW kind of started and kind of took all the guys that were sort of interested in from those promotions, and then I kind of fell off. I mean, I still kind of usually follow what's going on for Wrestle Kingdom every year for New Japan, but that's usually about it. So honestly, I'm looking at the card, I'm like, why are these guys fighting? I have no idea. Although for Wrestle Kingdom, I feel like it usually doesn't matter. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of really cool matches. What's the story? Who cares? I mean, not always, but a lot of times it seems that way. I was gonna run down the card, but honestly, I don't know what the point is. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know who's gonna win. I mean, I know a number of I know a lot of the guys that I've heard of. A lot of I know, so there's a bunch of people I don't really know, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna. This video is long enough already. I'm not gonna run through everything, but be interested to see how much AEW involvement there ends up being with the Wrestle Kingdom. Obviously, they're all over Wrestle Dynasty, but it just seems weird that those guys would be there for Dynasty and not do anything for Kingdom, unless a bunch of them are on the Rainbow, which I could see happening as well. But anyways, okay, enjoy Wrestle Kingdom soon, and then Wrestle Dynasty tomorrow in the middle of the night, because they're both in the middle of the night. And yeah, we'll be back for more wrestling action coming Monday, because Raw is going to Netflix, so they're having a big show, and we're going to do a little preview of that as well. So stay tuned for that, but come back every day. Videos posted every day, sometimes multiple in today. So technically, I think there's going to be, there'll be 2 videos today, this being the first, and then the Hangover Saturday video will be up later on today. Yeah, I don't know. And then we got an anniversary video coming up tomorrow as well, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe, have fun, talk to you next time. Bye.